What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I want to talk about the top flaws in Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F because we're getting ready to move into the RF saga in Dragon Ball Super. Now, Resurrection F was a great movie. It's probably my favorite one out of all of them, top of the list. But the problem with the movie is it's missing a lot of key story developments that weren't there in the movie. The movie itself is a great mix of comedy and action, but like when you look at the story and try to make sense of everything, it doesn't really make much sense. And I'm hoping that when they do the Dragon Ball Super version of Resurrection F, that they fix all that they didn't cover in the movie. So without further ado, let's talk about the flaws of Resurrection F. Now, of course, since we're talking about Resurrection F flaws, that means there's going to be spoilers. If for some reason you're that one person now left on the planet that didn't watch the movie, this is your one spoiler alert warning. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to the top of the list. So the first one I want to talk about, there's a huge chunk of stuff missing in the movie. Now, when I say huge chunk, I'm talking about if you look at how the movie is structured, it just seems like it should be a lot longer. Now, this reminds me of Battle of Gods originally when they made the director's cut. It was actually a lot longer than what they showed in theaters and what initially came out on DVD. And a lot of us actually still speculate that there is a 2-hour version of Resurrection F that's, hanging out somewhere. Maybe it'll be released sometime in the next couple of months, maybe in a year or so. But I feel like there's more stuff that was like edited out in the final, version of the movie before it was released and shipped to theaters, because it just feels like there's stuff missing. For starters, there's no explanation how Goku and Vegeta achieved Super Saiyan, got Super Saiyan. When the movie starts, they're already on the max ability, they mastered it and everything, but there's no explanation of how they achieved the form. It's like, surprise, motherfucker, I have the form, and it's really confusing. The next one is Frieza comes back and in a 4-month span achieves a power greater than Goku and Super Saiyan got Super Saiyan, which is a crazy power increase in such a short amount of time. And even that is not really explained. On top of that, in the movie, he even throws out the fact that he can reach a power level of 1.3 million. So not only is stuff kind of missing, but stuff doesn't really make sense. Now, the big one to a lot of people is Goten and Trunks aren't there. Now, Majin Buu, I guess you can kind of make an excuse and say he was asleep, even though we saw him sleep for like a couple seconds, literally, in the anime. But again, maybe he was sleeping a little bit longer, so whatever. But Goten and Trunks, they're kids, and they're very mischievous. And I'm sure they would have sensed they would have sensed Frieza at the second he arrived and came to fight him. But for some reason, they were just chilling on the other side of the planet or something. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense the way they wrote Goten and Trunks out of that movie, especially how much potential they could have with the movie had Trunks faced off with Frieza. Like, think about it. If Frieza would have seen Trunks and been like, I know you, you look familiar. You're the kid that killed me, but you're in kid mode. That could have been a very special moment there that, Toriyama didn't give us. And I feel like if they do that in Dragon Ball Super, it'll be so freaking awesome. And I hope that they do not take Goten and Trunks out of the anime version of Dragon Ball Super, just because there's so much potential there. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that's missing. I feel like, the fighting was even cut down. Like, it's just, I still believe that there is a 2-hour version of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F somewhere around there that's just not being released for whatever reason. But again, with Dragon Ball Super coming out, I do hope that they do extend that and kind of fill in all the holes along the line. Now, the other one I want to talk about is powers. The powers don't make any sense in this movie at all. The first one being with Gohan. Gohan was easily one of the most powerful warriors at the time, and the second Resurrection F starts, first of all, we see his new design, and I'm not going to judge his design, because whatever, but his design matches his power. He's just so weak. He even states that he doesn't even know if he can go Super Saiyan anymore. This is the same kid who was supposed to be like the 3rd and 4th strongest on the planet at the time, and yet he could barely even hold his own against a bunch of Frieza. Well, I wouldn't say that because he did destroy a bunch of Frieza soldiers, but still, like, he got one-shotted by Frieza in his first form, and it hurts me to see how much they weaken Gohan. Like, Gohan's supposed to be a beast, not a bitch. So I hope that Gohan doesn't return in a Dragon Ball Super version of Resurrection F. I want Gohan to be a beast. I want Gohan to be in this mystic form. I want Gohan to give Frieza these hands or somebody else these hands, but I don't want that Gohan to come back that we saw in Resurrection F, because Gohan is one of my favorite characters, and it hurts me to see what happened to Gohan over time. Now, speaking of powers not making sense, Master Roshi now can fight Frieza soldiers. Now, I don't remember what Master Roshi's initial power level was that was revealed last time we saw him. But I don't think it's gotten that much stronger. And Frieza soldiers are still strong. Granted, they're pretty weak. They should be a lot stronger than someone like Master Roshi. So, granted, it was an awesome way to see Master Roshi get introduced in the story again and just whoop everybody's ass. That was probably one of my favorite parts about that fight. But if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense that Master Roshi can take out Frieza soldiers like that. Especially, because he didn't really do that much training since the Dragon Ball days. So it's like, how is he getting stronger? So there's no real explanation there why Master Roshi is so much stronger or how weak the soldiers actually are. So, like I said, a bunch of issues of power. The next one is, the big one is Shisami. apparently Shisami is on par with Dodoria and Zarbon, but then Piccolo, who at the time should be really strong, could barely, you know, beat him, and then Gohan actually had to be the one to step in and defeat Shisami. So that doesn't explain anything. Like, is Shisami actually really, really strong, and was like the comparison to Dodoria Zarbon like not really a good comparison, or I don't understand that part. So it's like, is Shisami strong or is Piccolo weak? So again, a lot of confusion here. Now the biggest one with power confusion is the fact that Goku gets shot in his chest with a weak laser, which ends up almost getting him killed. Now you could argue that his guard was down, because the whole point of Resurrection F was to kind of show off Goku and Vegeta's weaknesses, and Goku being that he lets his guard down a lot. Now if anybody has their guard down, it's very easy to you know, catch them off guard and do something like defeat them. If you guys remember in the Cell Saga when Krillin threw that rock and hit Goku, it's something like that. But still, that laser either has to be extremely strong, or Goku's like guard had to be extremely down for him to get hurt that badly. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Even as a freaking god, like that laser I feel like should not have hurt him that badly. I feel like it was kind of a cop-out, or I don't know, it's just a weird way to bring Goku down so Frieza can stomp him out. So it's like, I hope that, first of all, I hope that gets taken out of Resurrection F in Dragon Ball Super and done differently, or at least explained better. Like, at least they could have said, like, yeah, this laser is special, Shenron gave it to me or something that can take out Saiyans or something. I don't know. It just needs a better explanation why that little weak little laser gun was able to take out Goku, where in the past we've seen Goku take bullets like it was nothing. So it's like, they need a better explanation with that one. Now, the other one, the final flaw that I want to point out is the movie was very expected and did not have any surprises. The first one being, we knew that Goku and Vegeta had already achieved Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or like the next level of Super Saiyan God. Granted, that's what they were kind of promoting, so we expected that. But even if you didn't watch any of the promotional stuff before that, we knew that Goku and Vegeta had to have gotten so much stronger because they were training Whis. So it was like, the entire time when we see Goku fighting against Frieza, or even before the fight even starts, we're just waiting for Goku and Vegeta to reveal their new forms. Like, we knew what was going to happen. So that wasn't a surprise. The next one was when Whis mentioned he can reverse time. The second he said he could reverse time, I knew it was going to happen at some point in the movie. There's no reason for Whis to be like, yeah, I can reverse time, and then that not be done in the movie. Like, the second he mentioned that, I was like, yep, the movie is going to end at some point with him reversing time. It only makes sense, because why else would we talk about it? Had Whis not mentioned the whole time reversal thing, it would have been kind of a surprise to point like, oh crap, how are they going to come back from, you know, Frieza destroying the Earth? But since, you know, when Frieza destroyed the Earth, the second it happened, the second we saw Whis make the little bubbles to kind of shield everybody, I knew that was going to happen next. So that, no surprise. The final one was Frieza was doomed from the start. What I mean by that is, he became extremely powerful, but even as powerful as he's become, the second he came to Earth, you knew he was going to lose. Like with Beerus in Battle of Gods, which, you know, I love that story a lot more. I like how Beerus shows up, and he's so powerful, and the whole time you're wondering, like, how is Goku going to defeat him? And ultimately, the surprise ended up being that Goku doesn't beat him because Beerus is indeed that powerful. Whereas Frieza shows up, and the second Frieza comes back, you knew he was going to get defeated. You knew he was going to go back to hell. You knew his massive power boost wasn't going to be enough, especially after the climax. You hit the climax in the movie, and you see Frieza getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and at that point, you're just like, okay, this fight's already over, you know. I wonder how it's going to end. Is Goku just going to shoot him? Is Vegeta going to shoot him? What's going to happen? So it's like the second, you know, he hits his max power, his peak, the fight's really over. And because of that, it just wasn't as enjoyable. It wasn't as surprising. Granted, Frieza blowing up the Earth was kind of surprising. It also wasn't going back to the whole Whis reverse time thing. And that's what kind of like, you know, kind of ruined the movie in a way for me. Now, I wouldn't say it ruined it, but it wasn't as, I don't know what the word is here. Like, it just had more potential for it to be more surprising than anything, and they kind of, you know, like spoiled the movie for us as the movie was, you know, progressing throughout the time. So yeah. Now again, Resurrection F is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a great movie. Like I said, it's a great mix of comedy and action, and it brought back one of my favorite anime villains of all time, Frieza. So I definitely loved it. It's just that if you're looking at it from the writer standpoint, it's just missing so much, and I hope that when Dragon Ball Super does it, that they change either everything or they explain all the holes that Resurrection F had as a movie. So fingers crossed there. Now before I end this before I end this video, I do want to point out that, you know, comparing Battle of Gods was more of a movie that's kind of like building up a story, introducing a new character, introducing a whole new universe for the Dragon Ball Z world, or I guess the Dragon Ball world. And Resurrection F was the opposite. Resurrection F kind of catered more to the fans who wanted all action and kind of like, you know, the explosive fights that we've always known and loved in Dragon Ball Z, and that's why the movie was so much more drastically different, and that's why the story was a little bit more laid back, more focused on action than story, and that's why those two movies differ the way they do. But I mean, I loved how Dragon Ball Super did Battle of Gods, so I'm hoping that that they do the same thing for Resurrection F. So yeah. Anyway, so before I end this video, I do want to ask you guys, are there any other flaws or questions that you guys had as you watch Resurrection F? Let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know what you're looking forward to the most in the Resurrection F saga of Dragon Ball Super. Like, what do you want to see different? What do you want to, you know, happen differently or whatever? Drop it in the comment section below. Oh, I'm burping because I'm drinking coffee. Oh, there it is again. So yeah. Anyway, so leave a like rating below if you enjoyed today's video, and of course, you guys keep having an awesome day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I will see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.